Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is how to enjoy driving more. Well, if you notice, I make a lot of these videos while I'm driving. So for me, it's kind of fun to make the videos while I'm driving. It seems like I get better ideas as I'm driving. The movement, there's something to be said for moving and getting better ideas. It's similar to how a lot of your great philosophers and sages and gurus and teachers from the old always talked about walking. And walking, of course, is another great method to keep moving and get your ideas flowing, but it's similar to driving. So I just take it a step farther, put my phone up on my dashboard with my little holder, and give you all kinds of good ideas for you and for me. You know, this is just as much for me as it is for you, because I enjoy giving these talks. So if I talk for 5 or 10 minutes, it helps to, or 15 or 20 minutes, it helps to break up my drive. It doesn't seem so dull. I don't have to rely on just whatever's on the radio. I don't have to make some special effort to get music or try to find some podcast. I let my ideas flow. And it doesn't, you don't always have to do this by the publishing. You don't have to feel the need to publish it. Some of my best talks have been just to myself, like a rant, to help me discover what the real problem is. That is a way to help you. Talk it out. Get your ideas out there where you can listen to them, see if they make sense. If they do, maybe they'll help others. You put it on the YouTube and share it. That's, what I'm doing here. So that's a big thing, is to talk, do some talking, make some videos while you're driving. And it'll break up your trip. It'll make the time pass. Obviously, another big one is to have good things to listen to. Maybe the area you live in has good radio stations that you like. Maybe you've got some sort of a program, Spotify or whatever it is, to iHeart, to give you the kind of music you like, or you have the CDs, or you listen to uplifting messages or audiobooks. Certainly, if you've got a lot of commuting to do for work or normal life, you better have a good stack of audiobooks and inspiration material. Otherwise, you can't really rely on just the talk radio and that early morning, let's say early morning blather and stuff. That's going to dumb you down, right? In the morning, you want to have something that's going to smarten you up. Usually, it seemed like to me in the afternoons, later in the afternoons, the afternoon commute is usually a better time. It has better information to listen to normal talk radio, or even noon. Maybe the noon talk show hosts seem to provide better value, not so much inanity. I was always hated that early morning talk shows, because it just seems everything was just so stupid, whatever they were talking about. Where I used to live, they had a really great late afternoon sports talk show and about the local sports, and they focused on the Green Bay Packers, my favorite team, and that was good, very good. And usually that late afternoon talks, you're more than likely going to get some better information. In the morning, that's when you better have your audiobook set up, your favorite music, and some sort of a way for you to play it, or some informational. I used to listen to a program, I still listen to it, from Dr. Robert Anthony, called The Secret of Deliberate Creation. Now, that was an excellent program. I listened to that and re-listened to it over and over and over again, and it helps me to make my life as good as it is now. So that's the listening, having something good, wholesome, uplifting, informational, good for you information, and avoid the bad for you information. So that's two things, right? What else? Be safe, right? Don't drive quite so fast as you normally drive. have all the normal safety equipment set up, the good newer wiper blades, the good tires, wear your seatbelt and all of that stuff. Don't drive when you're tired or impaired. If you have limitations on when you can drive, don't do that. Like, sometimes as you get older, it's harder to drive at night. Well, don't drive at night then, right? Be safe. That will help you be more comfortable. If you know there's bad weather coming, don't go, right? Where I'm in the Midwest, in the winter can be an extreme cause of stress. And if you don't have to drive in the bad weather, I try not to. And those are 3 big things you can do to enjoy your drive. 4th thing is enjoy the scenery as you're driving safely. Enjoy. You're seeing the things, seeing the trees, and certainly I love to take a long vacation driving trip. I've driven out west a number of times. There's pretty areas in the Midwest that I go to. I love to see new things by driving. Just driving by something nice, I like that. And probably the last thing, maybe even the most important thing, is to have a good vehicle that's comfortable to drive in. Most of my life, I did not have that. I had a vehicle that wasn't that great, wasn't that comfortable, wasn't that safe. I shouldn't say most. I did have some good cars over the years. But let's just say I bought this truck in 2013. So 7 years, the last 7 years, I've been driving my dream vehicle. It still drives as if it's brand new. I love it. It's so comfortable. I have no problem driving it. I mean, certainly it is got a little bit of rust I'm a little bit worried about. But it's got a lot of miles, but the engine and the transmission and all the big things are fine. I'm hoping that it just lasts for years and years and years, and I can continue to enjoy driving it. It's very comfortable. A truck like this is a half-ton Ford F-150 pickup truck. I've driven it nearly 1,000 miles in one day, like nearly 1,000 miles. And that's a long way, right? I started at maybe 6:30, 7 in the morning, and I drove until maybe 10 at night. And I could have kept driving at that point. I wasn't tired. I wasn't beat from driving. It was at night. And I was driving in an unfamiliar area at night, and I wasn't comfortable, so I stopped and slept that night. But yeah, driving 1,000 miles in a good vehicle like this is going to make your experience so much better. So just think of if you can drive 1,000 miles in a vehicle in a day, just your normal running around town, driving an hour or 2 or 3 is not going to be any big deal at all. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be pleasant. It's going to be like sitting in a nice, comfortable chair, seeing good scenery go by you. Maybe you make a few tapes. Maybe you listen to some good music. Maybe you let your mind wander. Like, all these things are going to make you enjoy driving a lot. Give those ideas some thought, all for now.